Welcome everyone to Growth School. It's an amazing, phenomenal time again to be on Growth School. I hope you're prepared. I hope you're set. I hope you're getting really set to enjoy the amazing things that will be shared tonight. I hope you're really prepared. Thanks for staying really faithful to appear on Growth School from time to time, willing to encourage yourself, willing to inspire yourself, and willing to get enlightened so that your life will become really better at the things that you do. I hope you're so ready. I hope you're so prepared because today we'll be dealing on something really crucial, something really essential, something that will go on to change your life, something that will make the entire difference in the journey of your life. And there's really nothing you want to do, whether as an entrepreneur, whether as a student, whether as someone who is working, whether as an employee, employer, whether you work as a corporate professional, this is really essential for you. So I want you to get your notepad, get your pen, and come right now and listen to this. Please, I want to plead, if you're watching me, you can hear me clearly. Please do well to share this video with your friends, share on your WhatsApp status right now. You could also share on your Instagram stories, share on your Facebook stories, and let's invite as many people to come learn and get the value that I will be sharing with you. So it's really going to be powerful tonight, and you will learn so much. Right? You will learn so much. I'll be back in a sec. Please, if you're joining, let me know where you're joining us from. Let me know your name and where you're joining from. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you for staying tuned for Growth School tonight. Now, tonight, we're looking, like you can see in the topic, we're looking at the topic mental alchemy. Mental alchemy. All right. Mental alchemy. Now, I'm going to start out by showing you like doing some sort of definition of terms um, on the word alchemy. Now I'm going to share my screen very briefly because I know the concept alchemy may seem new to a couple of people here. So I will just share my screen. All right, so I hope you can see this clearly. Now you can see the word alchemy. The definition is the medieval forerunner of chemistry, concerned with the transmutation of matter, in particular with attempts to convert base metals into gold or find a universal elixir. All right, or find the universal elixir. Now, what are other words? We have chemistry, we have magic, we have sorcery, witchcraft, enchantment. Those are not really essential things. Now, a seemingly magical process of transformation, a semi-magical process of transformation or creation or combination. Okay? Or combination. I think this is from the Oxford Dictionary. Now, look at this. Looking at the Cambridge Dictionary, it says a process that is so effective that it seems like a magic. All right. So, alchemy, in a sense, seems to appear like a means with which you can take something that is base, something that seems not so essential, something that seems not really relevant, and how you can begin to change them into gold. You change them into treasure with which you can get something great, with which you can get something of higher value than when you started. So when we talk about mental alchemy, is how you can dig deep into your mind. You can dig deep into the minds of the lands of your mind, and you can bring out gold that could change your life forever. For example, you walk into a particular environment and it seems like, what's really here? What are the things here? Okay, and what you seem to find is, say for example, maybe a lead, which is a base metal, and you take it through a process of transmutation, and you can make gold out of it. Why? Because the value of gold is higher than the value of lead. So how do you turn something that is base into a treasure? How do you turn something that is base into wealth, into things that will make remarkable difference, that will command attention of people globally and do a lot of things? Now, alchemy really stands for the word transformation. Now, how do you transform your mind? How do you make your mind so powerful that almost on autopilot, you can walk into a place with so much confusion and where people seem like there is no gold in this environment, and you can come up with gold? Where people say nothing can come out of this environment, you find the things which are base and you transform them into gold, whereby people can begin to command massive value. All right, massive value. So these are really essential things that you will want to pay attention to. So alchemy is the power of transformation, the power of going into your mind, journeying into your mind. For example, you say, I can't see my mind. I can't even understand what it looks like. It's so intangible, but yet it's really powerful. So that's what mental alchemy is about. So mental alchemy comes with a belief that by working with the physical, you can make profound changes within and around the world. So, for example, you consistently go to work every day. For example, maybe there's someone who wakes up every morning, wakes up at say 6 a.m. You resume work say at 7:30, at 8 a.m. Consistently, the activities you engage in seem to be doing something to you. The activities you are involved in, it looks like it's things happening physically, things happening externally in your outer world, but they seem to affect your inner world. The same way you take out time to say, oh, you need to follow this season of movie, you need to follow the trend that is happening, you need to look at that comedy program, you need to be involved in that skit. Consistently, you do not know that your mind imbibes the things you do externally. So your mind is conditioned to carry out the things you do externally to the point that it's either empowered or disempowered to become great. Is either empowered or disempowered to become great, or to become powerful, or to accomplish something really great in itself. Now, you must understand that there's a connection to your routine, there's a connection to your routine and the state of your mind. There's a connection to the way you wake up every morning and then you say, oh, I want to know what's happening. I want to check up the news. Oh, I want to listen to the news. Oh, I need to chat a friend. Oh, I need to know what's happening on WhatsApp status. Oh, I need to bump on my Facebook. Now, the physical activity seems to be making profound changes to your mind, seems to be making profound transformation to your mind. This is the things that happen to alchemists. So they go on a journey, they try to be on a search for different base elements, they search for it, and in their mind, because they have worked on certain things in the past and they have brought forth gold out of it, it challenges them to go for more. It challenges them to do what? To go for more. And you must understand that the state of your mind is a reflection of your consistent activity physically. So that's why I said it comes with a belief that by working with the physical, you can make profound changes within and around your world. The problem is a lot of people are challenged and motivated to make differences in the world around them. Oh, they want to transform the lives of people. Oh, they want to reach out to 1 million people. Oh, they want to make changes in their life. Oh, they want to be the best in the things they do. Oh, they want to raise this mighty number of men. Oh, they want to walk into greatness in the things they do. But they seem not to understand that the changes outward do not take place except your mind have been conditioned to accommodate the changes without. So don't expect that you are going to perform, you are going to become greater than the state of your mind. So you're willing to mine the lands of your mind so you could draw out treasures out of it and walk in immeasurable greatness and walk in immeasurable accomplishment. Now, I asked this question, I said something in my book, Mind Shaped, the power, the secret and the power of your mind. I said, how do you think that people who were born in poems, people who had no advantage, people who went to schools that people never taught people would be great, would come out from them, how did they move from a poor state, from a disadvantaged position, to a point where they became celebrated, honored, and they became appreciated in all that they did? All this happened because they were willing to carry out an alchemy on their mind. They were willing to see they were willing to see the disadvantage, and they wanted to change the narrative, and then they mined into their mind. They were consistent on working on their mind. They were deliberate about the things they had. They had a sort of sieve that only the things that were right, that would take them to their goal, were permitted into their minds. That's why you must not look away from the consistent conversations that happen in your mind. Never look away from the consistent conversations that happen in your mind. Why? Because they reflect, because they bring about who you eventually become. Now, the second point, alchemy is the transformation of base metals into noble metals like lead into gold. Like lead into gold. So base metals into noble metals. Base experiences into noble experiences. Dissatisfying experiences into highly fulfilling experiences. Remember, if you have been at a situation where you have weaved, you have been disappointed, you have been challenged, and people have told you can never do well, you need to retrain and reprogram your mind to understand that you can be better. You need to reframe your mind to understand that there's a greatness within you. Now, for example, this week, I think it was on Tuesday, probably on Tuesday or on Monday, I had this conversation with a student on my campus. We're just speaking, and I noticed that she had a consistent habit that she was always keeping. All right? And this is the habit of always wanting to shield a part of her face and all of that. And I reached out, I started engaging. I said, you're doing this because of previous experiences that have happened or previous challenges that have taken place. If only you can retrain your mind to understand that there's a greatness in you, you would not be willing to show the fullness of yourself. And you don't seem to understand that there's a part of you that the world needs. There's a part of you that the world cannot do without, if only you can give it all out. She started understanding, she started grasping it. Now, this is the exact thing that happened to a lot of people. Lots of people right now are settling down for their oppression. They are settling down for their past displeasing experiences. They are settling down for the failures that have happened to them. Those things are base metals. Can you make out of them gold? Can you make out of them gold? Can you look at the displeasing experiences you've been through and begin to draw out treasure and noble metals out of them? Why? Because those things are able to make remarkable difference in your life. People don't want to listen to your excuses. I told a student, I think I told a student this week, we're discussing, and she was so displeased about her result. She was like, oh, I really didn't want that course. Oh, my parents just wanted me to study that course. My parents just wanted me to do this. And I told her, I said, the world will not listen to your excuses, no matter how they may seem nice. They may be nice to listen to them. They may seem nice to listen. The world will never celebrate your excuses. They would only celebrate your successes. So you must condition your mind to the point that irrespective of the things I've been through, I'm willing to make gold out of it. I'm willing to make gold out of it. I remember the times when I began sharing my experience of attempted suicide, of suicide attempts, of times when I wanted to attempt suicide as a teenager. And there were different people who resonated with it. Now, what I realized is that a lot of people who have thought of these things in their mind, they became revived, they became changed, they became transformed. Why? Because I was willing to make nobility out of nonentity. I'll say that again. Because I was willing to make nobility out of nonentity. The things that you seem are non-entities are the places and land with which your nobility will come from. So until you retrain your mind, you reprogram your mind, until you recondition your mind, understanding that there is a treasure in you that the world must celebrate, you will not be able to carry out the efficient alchemy of your mental mind. All right. So as I said initially, alchemy has to do with transformation. So it used to be lead, now it is gold. Lead cost very little, but you know what? Gold costs something more. And that's why you must understand that people do not see your minds. People cannot see your mind. They can only see what you have transformed into by the product that comes out of it. Never say, oh, I know what's in my mind. Have you heard people always say, it's me that know my mind though. It's me that know my mind though. This my own mind is nice though. This my own mind is okay. People don't see your mind. People see the outcome, all right? The end of your alchemy process is what people reward you for or people look away from. It's nice that you're willing to do a lot of activities. You're attending the programs. Oh, you can say you have a lot of mentors. You're trying to read lots of books. You're trying to do a lot of things. You're trying to be here. You're trying to be there. You say you're advancing. You said you're growing. But can you commit to the alchemy of your mind? Can you commit to the alchemy of your mind? Can you commit to the alchemy of your mind? All right, hold on a sec. I need to share something. I need to share this somewhere. One of my mentors have always told me to always put forward this. All right. Yeah, thanks. So the ability to always turn your mind into treasure. So you move from nonentity into nobility. So the concept of transformation. Now, alchemy, thirdly, also suggests that just as we can change and improve physical substances, we have the ability to transform ourselves and reach a higher state of being. All right? You must never get satisfied with the state you are today. That's mental alchemy. So, I knew this 5 years ago. I think it should remain what it used to be 5 years ago, without understanding that growth requires transformation. So what you knew yesterday is there now an upgraded version that makes you fit into current relevance. The reason why people were relevant 10 years ago, but today they are no longer relevant, is because They stood at what they used to know. But in the stage of alchemy, as you begin to change things physically, as you begin to transform metals from one state to the other, from one form to the other, you would realize that there is a new form. You know, when it used to be lead, it does not just move instantly in 1 hour into gold. There's a process it moves through. That's why we are all human beings, not human being. Only those who understand that growth must consistently be a process are those who are relevant today, are those who are found valuable and invaluable in today's world. Never stay at a point that you were last year, that you were 2 years ago, that you were 4 years ago. Work at a point where you're so dynamic that people cannot predict your next move. Work at that point that people cannot predict your next move. All right? People cannot predict your next move. Now, the next thing, you do not transform gold, you do not transform lead into gold just by thinking about it. And this is a mistake a lot of people make. You sit down, maybe you met a mentor, the mentor gave you a counsel, or you went for a conference, you jotted a lot of ideas, and then you just sat still and expect that your life will just change. It doesn't happen that way. There is always a practical experiment that takes place for lead to become gold. The question is, your mind is not as powerful as the knowledge you have. Your mind is as powerful as the knowledge that you execute. I'll say that again. Your mind is not as powerful as the knowledge that you have. Your mind is as powerful as the knowledge that you execute. As the knowledge that you execute. What knowledge are you executing from the things that you have learned? That's mental alchemy. You grow. You grow. You do not take lead, for example. You do not take lead and just hold it, and you open your eyes and find out that it is gold. It doesn't happen that way. There's a practical process that it moves through. Your mind is as powerful as the things that you execute. Listen, you are not intelligent because of the number of books you have read. You are not intelligent because of the number of mentors you have. You are not intelligent because of the number of courses you are taking. You are intelligent and smart because of the number of knowledge you have been able to put into execution. You are intelligent because of the number of knowledge you have been able to put into appropriate execution. And that's why most time wisdom is the ability to apply knowledge in the right way and at the right time. Mental alchemy. So there's a place of, number one, the place of transformation. There's a place of belief. There's a place of transmutation. There's the place of carrying out physical activities that then reflects on your mind, that forms your habits and routines. And then there is the place of practical experiment. Practical experiment. Practical experiment. As an alchemy, you go on a journey, you go on a journey, you go on a journey because you're searching for something. You must put your mind at a point whereby there is always a quest within it to seek for something new. That's how your mind grows. That's how your mind becomes powerful. That's how your mind becomes enabled. That's how your mind becomes empowered. Mental alchemy. Now, I think I have about 7 things. What are 7 things you must pay attention to in order to carry out a mental alchemy? Number 1, you must understand the enigmatic power of your mind. Enigmatic. You know, when they say someone is an enigma, enigma has to do with mystery. All right? There is the mysterious power of the mind. The mysterious power of the mind. Have you ever asked yourself the question that What's the reason why a lot of these gamble companies, I don't want to mention name, I don't want to market anyone, a lot of these gamble companies and the like, why do you think they are usually situated in the environments of the poor? Have you ever find any of these gamble company, whether it's sport bets or whether it's the normal pool and all of that, have you ever found them located in the places where the wealthy are? I want to bring out something. Have you ever find them maybe having stores, whether they touch it up or not, in the areas where the wealthy are? Have you ever found them? Ask yourself the question. Why are they always found in the environment where the poor resides? I will tell you why. Because they have mastered the condition of the mind. And the people who are poor, who were taught in the school of the poor, they have this quest to get things without analyzing them logically. Majority of those who are poor, who are in the poor environments, they are conditioned to take decisions more emotionally than logically. And this is the idea. Because they understand the mystery of the human mind, and because their mind have been taught by a certain school of thought, when they see situations, majority, when they see situations that promises them instant money, instant wealth, instant achievement, they don't seem to think through, and then they rush to them and give. All right. All right, sorry for that. Now, they seem to have been trained by a school of thought that is always having this quest, always having this longing. Oh, I want to make more money. I want to get more things. I want to quest for it. And then the little resources they have, they enrich even the rich. They enrich the rich. They enrich the rich who create such platform. So you must understand the mystery of your mind. Have you ever asked yourself, people always talk about the mind. Where is your mind? That's the first question. Where is your mind? Where exactly is your mind? You know, some people believe, oh, my mind is in my brain. Oh, my mind is in my heart. Oh, it looks like, oh, my mind is in my head. Oh, my mind is at the back here. Where is your mind? If you have studied certain materials or you've read certain books, we are told or we have learned, which is true, that humans are formed with three compartments. They have the body, they have the soul, and they have the spirit. They have the body, they have the soul, they have the spirit. So the body, the physical, the outward appearance that you can see, just what makes you look fine, what makes you look good, the way you appear, whether you're fair, whether you're dark, whether you're chocolate, whether you're melanin, whether whether you're red, the physical appearance is what reveals it. But what seems to be very powerful, the most powerful part of your body compartment, is not that physicality that you have. And to some extent, is not even your spirit. I know that shocks a lot of people. It's not even your spirit. The most powerful part is the soul, and the soul is actually where your mind resides. You would find out that sometimes majority of the decisions in your life are always a reflection of what have consistently stayed in your mind. They are not a reflection of how you appear on the outward. They are a reflection of what has been consistently fed with your mind. And your mind will only carry out a message of what happens between your body and your spirit. So your soul seems to be like the messenger that carries out what happens between your soul and your spirit. And guess what? Every action, everything you hear, everything you see, everything you smell. How do you smell? How do you perceive an aroma and you know someone is cooking a soup? And how do you go by when maybe they want to do a party and you perceive an aroma and know it's rice? Why? Because something has consistently stored in your mind. So there is the mystery and the power of your mind. Your mind is so powerful. You know, that's why the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And guess what? The thinking really happens in your mind. As a man thinketh, so he is. If you think you're powerful, then you are. If you think you're small, then you are. If you think you're rich, then you are. If you think you are excellent, then you are. But listen to this. This is a caveat. It's not enough to think that you're this. The consistent effort you put into your thinking will equate into what you become. People just believe, okay, I'm sitting down right now. I think I can buy a house worth 1 billion naira. And you just sit down and you keep thinking. But guess what? That alone will not get you that, will not get you your desire. Instead, it will frustrate you the more. So what you need to do to your thinking is that you need to empower your thinking with execution. You need to empower your thinking with one step after the other, one step after the other, one step after the other, one step after the other. When I was young, I was born and brought up in a rugged part of Lagos called Oshodi. And if you know Oshodi, it's the environment where we have a lot of area boys, they fight. There's always the news of this fighting this killing this. Oh, they break bottle and they choke this person. Oh, that happened. There's always that fight. It's a very rough environment. Yet gold is still there because we have people doing amazing things there. But that environment enslaves your mind and limits you from seeing the world from a different perspective. And that's what I'm saying. Your mind is so powerful. Some of you right now have been through experiences that as a young person you should never have seen. You have been through situations that hurt you greatly. You have been through circumstances where people have said words to you that keeps breaking you all the time. And you believe those things are just normal, they won't affect you. But the truth right now is, because they have been stored in your mind, you do not know why unconsciously you react out of those experiences. You respond to life because of those experiences you've been through. The condition of your mind. Your mind is that powerful. Listen, something can be in your mind for 10 years and you may not react with it until after 10 years. That's why your mind is that powerful. And you must create a system that offloads the experiences you've been through so you can come into the reality of your true self. So the enigmatic power of your mind. Your mind is so powerful. This is why you must be selective of friends, selective of location, selective of where you spend your time, selective of where you spend your money, and selective of where you spend your attention, selective of where you spend your energy. Whatever you consistently give your energy to, they will determine your destiny. They will determine your destiny. They will determine your hand. They will determine your hand. This may not be, I may need to apologize if I need to use this example, if it affects you. There are lots of instances where maybe, for example, is a young guy or a young lady who have been through consistent heartbreak, all right, breakfast. Maybe you've been jilted over time. Maybe you've been led by different personalities. They've always come to you. You will find out that when you get to interact with that kind of gender, it always brings back the memory of the things you've been through. And naturally, maybe unknowingly or unconsciously, you react to that gender as though they were the one who caused you those past experiences. Why? Because your mind is bringing out, is making you relate, is controlling how you respond to the circumstances and to the people that come around you. So there is an enigmatic power of your mind. The same way, people can sit down at a spot, think about something, make certain connections, and before you know it, they have begun something great worth multi-million in naira, to the point whereby they are changing lives, but just by thinking about it. Just by thinking about it. Every innovation you saw began with a thinking. Every innovation, every innovation, every innovation, every great innovation started from the mind. That's what I'm saying. There is an alchemy of the mind. Number two. Are you ready for number two? 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 Okay. Number two. Number two, mastering the art of mind control. Mastering the art of mind control. Now, mind control commences with number one, how do you control your breath? How do you control your breath? Number two, how do you control your attention? If, for example, you work in an environment where you need to hear certain things, how do you control your attention? Number three, sorry, I'm still here. Rapture has not happened. So we're still here. Now, so we talked about mastering the art of mind control. All right. How do you put control on your mind? How do you control your mind? Number one, start by knowing how to control your breath. Because if your breath seems to be affected, all right, if your breath is not so right, it would affect your thinking process. And you must understand that there is an oxygen that when it comes in accurately into your mind, into your heart, it always pumps some sort of blood to your brain, and it makes your brain work and function effectively. So you must master the art of mind control. When you wake up every morning, don't be that person that the first thing you want to do is to go on your smartphone. Why? Because it limits the power that your mind should have over your day. I'll say that again. Whenever you wake up every morning and you seem not to give out something productive to your mind, you don't do something that energizes your mind on a daily basis, it would limit the measure of productivity that you should have in that day. Why? Because the powerhouse of your life is your mind. And when you disempower your powerhouse, it limits, all right, the measure and the level of productivity that you should have. So don't start your day by feeding it with disempowering information. Instead, you empower it with productive things. And the way you set your mind before the day begins will determine the result of that day. So empowering your mind, mastering the art of mind control, mind control. That's why things like meditation, they are powerful. Meditation, you shut your eyes, you shut your ears, even though sounds may be going around, and then you bring your mind into an environment of flourishing, an environment of greatness, an environment of power. You begin to envision, you visualize things happening for you, for good, great things. And that's why the way you respond to life is showing, all right? The way you reflect to life actually shows the power of your mind. The way you respond to life, the way you respond to things that happen every day shows the state of your mind, shows the state of your mind. So you master the art of mind control. Now, let me tell you the reason why people get angry easily. They get angry easily because they turn off the control in their minds. But when you find out that, oh, people are saying things, they are saying things about you, and then you just listen, it surprises them that it appears as though they are just speaking, but it doesn't get at you. It doesn't get at you. It doesn't get at you. Why? Because the powerhouse of your mind have been logged against the things that are said. They have been logged against the things that are said. So you master the heart of your mind. So you control your bed, you exercise consistently, it empowers your mind, it strengthens your mind so much. Now, number three, rewinding limiting beliefs. Rewinding limiting beliefs. So reminding limiting beliefs are like, for example, when you were young, what were certain things they told you that you were so displeased about it, you were not happy about them? What are things they told you when you were young, or things they told you while you were in school? Maybe those who tried to bully you, they said certain things that made you felt bad. Some of them made you cry. Some of them made you felt like, are you human at all? You understand? Some of those things. They told you things that made you look at yourself twice and said, is this really you? That made you even doubt yourself. What are some of those limiting beliefs? What are self-imposed barriers you have put on yourself? You say, oh, because I came from a poor home, it does not look like anything great will come out of me. Oh, because he's not a great man that gave birth to me, it doesn't look like I can ever be wealthy. Oh, because I didn't go to that big school, does it look like I can finish with a first class? Begin to identify those limiting beliefs. And as you identify them, you know what you have to do? Begin to write them down. Write down all of your limiting beliefs. As you're writing, write them down, leave a space, write them down, leave a space, write them down, leave a space. Write them down. Okay? Limiting beliefs like, I cannot be wealthy. Limiting beliefs that I don't think I can get a good man. Good men don't exist. Oh, all men are scum. Limiting beliefs like, great opportunities are not really meant for me. Write them down. When you are done writing them down, cross them out one after the other and reverse them. So statements like, I don't think I can be rich. Change them though, that I can become rich because I know, because I believe it's possible. I can become rich because others have become rich and I know it's possible. I don't think anything great can come out of me. You cross it out. Greatness will always come out of me because I'm deliberate about it. You change your mind. Renew your mind. Renew. The Bible says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Why? Because there is an external factor that seems to have rubbed off on your mind unknowingly, not because you intentionally wanted it to rub off on your mind, unknowingly, and you then renew your mind. You twist your mind. You walk on your mind afresh. You walk on your mind afresh. And then your new statements are the things you begin to read to yourself. I know there's greatness within me. For that reason, I will be great. I rise up this morning and everything around me favors me. I step out today and I begin to say the right words that will bring the right opportunities to me. You are renewing your mind. You're changing your mind. I'm not cursed. I'm blessed because great are coming out of me. I'm turning out as an innovator whose innovation will be celebrated across the world. You're renewing your mind. You're transforming your mind. So you rewind your limiting beliefs. Number four, you ignite your inner creative ability. You ignite your inner creative genius. Listen, there is no one God created without creativity. That's fantastic. There is no one God created without creativity. I think I need to write down. There is no one that God created without creativity. Let me tell you why. Because there's an element of God inside of you. There's an element of God inside of you. There's an element of God inside of you. I'll say it again. There's an element of God inside of you. And because God is a creator, He puts in you a creative genius to create things. What we create as humans are not the same, but God has put a creative ability inside of you to create things. God has put a power, a force inside of you. When it breathed into you and you became a living soul, there is a creative ability inside of you. But you need to search out and find out your creative power. And this is why sitting down with yourself and taking your mind on a journey is how you begin to harvest these ideas. Is how you begin to harvest your creative genius. Is how you begin to search it out. Is how you begin to draw it down. Is how you begin to bring it into the inner force within you. And then you begin to see everyone respond to your creative power. There is a creative genius inside every human. But until you come into knowing who you are, you may not be able to draw it out. I once lived in a house, I once lived in a house where we used to fetch water from well. And when you don't have the fetcher, you can't get water. So the world is like a what field? It's like that well filled with lots of water. Then you need a fetcher. That fetcher is your mind. You fetch the ideas. You fetch the innovation. You fetch the force. You fetch the next move. You fetch the next ideas. And these are reasons why you find out that great people, they consistently become great and wealthy from their greatness. Why? Because they understand how to fetch. Some of them spend money traveling far into countries, locking themselves up in hotel rooms. Why? Because they need to get ideas. Some of them enroll into yoga classes. Why? Because new ideas just have to come. That's why those who meditate consistently, who take time with themselves to fetch new ideas and innovation, they are highly celebrated. They are highly celebrated. Some of you right now, you're following some people, you follow them, you follow them, you celebrate them. Sometimes you send your resources to them, nothing wrong about that. You love them, listen to them consistently, but you don't seem to watch certain elements in them that make them what they are. You don't watch certain elements in them. You don't study them. You don't look at certain things they do. Why do they not show up for this number of time? Why do they leave spaces here and there? Why are they always available and after a season they are no longer available? They are going to fetch afresh. Why? Because now they have fetched something, it has delivered, and they need something more, not to remain there. Igniting your inner creative genius. And this is what I'm going to say. Whenever an idea drops, never let the thinking of impossibility limit you. The problem is a lot of fantastic ideas have come to you. But you know the problem? The first thing you're thinking about is, oh, I don't have money to implement it. I don't have this to implement it. Why not sit down, write it down, and then begin to ask the question, what next? What are the action steps I need to take to bring this into execution, to bring it into tangible outcomes and results? Sit down and you begin to work on them. You begin to do them, to do them, to do them, and to do them. Amazing. So you tap into the power of your creative genius. Listen, you are creative. My friend, my dear friend, you are creative. Don't limit your creative ability. Don't limit it. Draw it, execute. You are scared of failing, yet execute again. That's how to learn. That's how to be better. That's how to be good at it. All right. So number one, I spoke about the enigmatic power of your mind. Number two, mastering the art of mind control. Number three, rewinding limiting beliefs. All right, taking it off. Number four, igniting your inner creative genius. And now number five, and maybe I would stop here probably. Number five, unleashing the power of visualization. Unleashing the power of visualization. Listen, your greatness lies in your imagination. Your greatness lies in your imagination. Your greatness lies in your imagination. You will not be obsessed outside your imagination. I'll say it again. You will not be obsessed outside your imagination. Have you seen people believe that they can rule the world? The way they walk is different. Why? Because they have been immersed into it. They visualize greatness inside of them. They view it on a consistent basis, and before you know it, they keep growing. They keep growing. They keep growing. There's this part of the Bible I want to show you. This part of the Bible I want to show you. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? I'm going to share my screen shortly. Now, I want you to begin to read from this part. Now you'll see. Let's read together. The word of the Lord came to me. What do you see, Jeremiah? I see the branch of an almond tree, I replied. The Lord said to me, you have seen correctly, for I am watching to see that my word is fulfilled. The word of the Lord came to me again. What do you see? Can you see? I see a boiling pot tilting away from the north. I answered. The Lord said to me, from the north, disaster will be poured out on all who live in the land. Now, what I'm trying to bring out here is the point where God is asking, what do you see? Your blessings will not come outside what you see. Your greatness, your elevation will not come outside what you see. And listen, it's not seen with these two eyes. It's not seen with these two eyes, but what you see with your mind. There is always a third eye that you must have. The eye of your mind. The eye of your mind. The eye of your mind. What do you see? Your power is in the things that you visualize consistently. If it's positive, your life will be positive. If it's negative, your life will be negative. This brings me to a post I shared on Facebook. And I came about that when Hilda, is it Bika or Hilda Baki? Yeah, Hilda Bassi. Hilda Bassi recently, set a Guinness Book World Record for 1,000 hours, few minutes of standing to cook different meals. And when certain comments, people shared comments, people drew motivational posts from her. Oh, if she can do this, so do this. Oh, that there's that dedication in the mind of the human, you can become this. People just wrote different things. And there's another category of people that the only thing they could go back and trace is, oh, see this lady, it's not only food she is cooking, she's also cooking something else. Oh, see this lady, see her dressing. It's like there's something else she's trying to gain attention to. Okay. But my question is, when people achieve massive outcomes, when people do well in their lives, what's the reason why you'll find out that you are always looking for the negative about them? All right. Why are you always looking for the negative in people? You must understand that it's the state of your mind. The problem is a lot of people don't seem to understand that the state and posture of their mind is the reason why they react and act the way they do. Is the reason why they speak in certain ways. The reason why when someone accomplishes a quest, the first thing is, let me go and check. Let me go and check the button about this person. And that's the thing you want to announce. That's what you want to you want to become popular. That's the thing you want to be known for. Where's the positivity in it? What lessons do you learn from people's greatness? What lesson do you learn from people's successes? What lesson do you learn from people's achievements? Are you always negative? Are you always negative? So even if you are coming back to pass that lesson, can you at least start with something positive? Why do you rub off the negativity on people's positivity and you don't seem to understand? You believe something is wrong with that person, but you don't come back to realize what has gone wrong with you. So you must come back to understand the power of visualization. What do you always see? What do you always see? What do you always see? And never get it wrong that you may consistently magnetize negativity to you because your visual spectrum is consistently negative. It's consistently negative. For example, are you a student in school? Why do you always see the negative side? Oh, people are always failing this course. Do you visualize passing that course? Oh, people are always finding it difficult to accomplish it. Do you consistently visualize scaling through that limitation? Oh, it looks like this situation is always bad. Everybody that comes here, it looks as if they are. Can you always visualize something great? Oh, in our family, it looks like people don't really do well. The best people always have is just to have a BSc, or maybe nobody about BSc. It looks like can you visualize yourself breaking that record and even breaking more? The power of visualization. You take your mind on a tour, you take your mind on a journey, you dig down into the gold, you dig down into the treasures, you begin to draw them out, and then you make the difference. When you hold lead and you hold gold, one shines better than the other, and the water of one is always better than the other. Don't stop when you get at lead. Keep digging until you can get gold. The power of visualization. What are you obsessed about? What do you immerse yourself in? What do you give yourself to seeing consistently? What do you give yourself to looking out consistently? And I used to say this, that what you consistently behold, you will become. What you consistently behold, you will become. And that's why you find out that the people you consistently watch, maybe you watch their videos, you look at their quotes, you listen to their messages, you listen to their words. At some point, you will find out that without knowing, you may even begin to speak like them. You may even begin to put out your words like them. Why? Because what you consistently behold, you become. Look at your church, the church you attend. You will find out that majority of the pastors, majority or some of the pastors who serve in your church, many of them seem to speak like the leader, seem to speak like the leader. If the leader is one who speaks gently, you'll find some of them, they also speak gently. If the leader is one who is very charismatic, you find some of them, they're also very charismatic. Why? Because what you consistently behold, you become. So, unleashing the power of visualization. Unleashing the power of visualization. Number six, embracing unstoppable confidence. This is a very important thing, very important. Embracing the unstoppable confidence. When you are done visualizing, and then you come back to yourself, you come back to your real self. The things that don't seem to make you accomplish what you visualized or you saw, okay, that great dream or vision or that amazing thing that you beheld, the things that don't seem to make you accomplish them are always because you lack confidence. Sometimes you see someone that your mind says, oh, speak to that person. You have this instinct that says, talk to that person. Interact with that person. You're like, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I don't know what response I'll get. Oh, I don't know what this person will say. Hey. You know, you are always fearful. And that's the reason why you have not grown to the level that you should grow to. You want to carry out mental alchemy. I've told you it's not just by sitting down or by meditation alone. It's also by execution. It's not just by meditation, but by execution. Not just meditation, but execution. Not just meditation, but execution. So you need confidence. The lion is not the king of the jungle because he's the tallest. He's not the king of the jungle because he's the strongest. He's not the king of the jungle because he's the fiercest. He's not the king of the jungle because he's the fastest. He's the king of the jungle because it's the most confidence. It has the attitude of confidence. It's willing to confront anything, get anything, as long as it sees its target. Are you confident enough to accomplish what you have chosen to visualize? God is speaking to you, telling you a vision. You're waiting until someone says, go and do this. Why? Because you lack confidence. And that's the reason why sometimes a lot of people, they settle around the comfort of their limitation when they see people who tell them, oh, it's fine, you don't need to rush, don't go for the high things, just be okay, just settle for that little. And then you say, okay, that's what I've always wanted to hear. And you don't know that you're killing your mind, you're killing your mental mind, you're limiting yourself from exhibiting the greatness that God has blessed you with. So you see people who tell you, it's not really important. You know, just be okay, be managing what you have gotten. And then they keep killing the power that your mind should have. You would find out that every time you are able to accomplish something, your mind awakens to quest for more. But every time you stay so long at a point of accomplishing something, your mind becomes discouraged, your mind becomes cold, and your mind becomes limited from seeking something more. So you awaken fresher accomplishment by executing current beliefs. Number 7, finally, harnessing the force of universal abundance. I don't know if you can read this book. Get the book Abundance. I think it's very important. You know, that book will expose your mind to realize that virtually everything you need to become anything on earth is existent on earth and is abundant. I know someone feels like everything you need to become anything you want to be is existent on earth and is abundant. Abundance. God created men abundantly. He created animals abundantly, made water abundant. He made sand abundant, gave us abundance of land, gave us abundance of air, abundance of everything. The heavens are also abundant. There's abundance existent on earth, but your mind must be able to find the abundance that you need and then go after it. There's abundance. So the truth really is that the world is not poor. No nation is poor. Nothing is really poor on earth. It's only that people are not able to harness and to connect to the available resources or to the available set of abundant resources that they need to execute the accomplishment. So abundance is key. All right, so just a recap, mental alchemy. I hope you got value. I said number 1, the enigmatic power of your mind. That's the mystery of the mind. Number 2, mastering the art of mind control. I spoke about breaking limiting beliefs, igniting your inner creative genius. Number 4. Number 5, unleashing the power of visualization. Number 6, embracing unstoppable confidence. And number 7, harnessing the force of universal abundance. Do you have questions from the session? Can you drop your questions? I want to read them. Questions for mental alchemy. Unleashing the power within. Unleashing the power within. Mental alchemy. How do you move from lead to gold? Amazing. I hope you got value. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot tonight. All right, thank you so much. I'm blessed, I'm delighted to have you join me on Growth School tonight. Please do well to share this video with your friends. Do well to subscribe. Do well to like this video. Do well to also share this video with all of your friends. Let them learn, and let's make the world a better place. Knowledge is abundant. Good things are abundant. Seek your own abundance. Till I come your way again, remain exceptional, remain phenomenal, and be the best you are called and created to be. Bye-bye.